Welcome to WTV News. My name is Johnson Mwakazi and we have loads of stories lined up for you on this day 11th of August 2014. Now, the recent pedestrian deaths on our Kenyan roads have triggered new directives from the National Transport and Safety Authority. Police will now charge pedestrians found crossing roads at non-designated areas with attempted suicide. Statistics indicate that pedestrians knocked down by vehicles were in most cases using undesignated crossing points.
With footbridges and zebra crossings now a common phenomenon in most of our Kenyan roads, one can't help but wonder why accidents involving pedestrians are still on a high. According to the National Transport and Safety Authority Director General Francis Major, statistics have it that of those killed in road accidents, 46% of the victims are pedestrians. Nairobi region alone bears a huge brand of 479 lives lost within the past 6 months. Following this startling report, the National Transport and Safety Authority has now come up with a new proposed law that may see the depressing statistics of accidents involving pedestrians reduced. The tough law will now see any pedestrian flouting or crossing a highway as opposed to using a footbridge charged with attempted suicide. We spoke to Senior Superintendent Police in charge of the driving test unit, Mr. Ayub Gitonga Ali, for more insight.
For a person to be forced to follow the law, because that is, you see, it has been provided for, and yet they are not using. If the stringent measures are put in place, that is the best way to enforce that law so that we can reduce the fatalities.
And what initiative does the National Transport and Safety Authority have toward addressing the safety of the pedestrians as well as the upkeep of the footbridges?
National Transport and Safety Authority recently cleaned up all the footbridges around, and that way now they are sure that they are passable, because there before they were used in other ways. It was a den of people sleeping on them. They were dirty, and people, even some families, were living on those footbridges. But right now they are clean and they are using, and there is even effort. There are even efforts to force people to use the footbridges.
And despite the few who choose to flout the well-meant rule of using the footbridge, there are still many Kenyans who see the need of utilizing the footbridges.
Uko chini kuna hatari. Juu wakati ule nimeenda kupitia uko chini, tunaweza kwenda tupitane na gari nigonge.
I basically use the footbridge because I love myself. I fear crossing the road. I fear cars, so I'd rather save my life and just use the footbridge, and it doesn't take any time anyway.
And their advice to other Kenyans?
Unajua kama kifo yako haijafika uwezi lazimisha ifike haraka. Afadhali uende njia refu na unini maisha yako.
Please tafadhalini, hii kitu ni very risk. Mtu akiona mahali hapana kukia kwa sababu highway ni kubwa na gari inakwenda speed over 100 na haitakikani isimame na hakuna mahali ya zebra crossing, mtu atumie hizi daraja zinawekwa na hii wenye walitutengenezea hii barabara ndio watu wafaidike.
Perhaps some of the excuses given by and for pedestrians for not using footbridges like this one along Thika Road next to Mathare Hospital include the deplorable conditions, the long stretch from one point to the other, as well as the presence of tags. But is it worth taking the risk? The National Transport and Safety Authority has promised to look into these issues to ensure that you and I are safe on the road. Reporting for WTV News, I am Wavinya Wanyasa.